Hello! 3 back exercises that you can do on the cable machine to give you a big pair of thick ribeye steaks underneath the armpits. Okay, so obviously this isn't the be-all and end-all of every back exercise that you'll ever need. However, this is going to encompass 3 important back exercises that you can do on a cable machine if you don't want to touch free weights or compounds. And trust me, these still will build a nice, thick, chunky back. So I've broken it down to 3 easy aspects here. We're going to have a lat-specific isolation exercise. We're going to have a bilateral exercise. And then we're going to have, finally, some all-encompassing, massive back exercise, a compound style movement. Now the order that you need to do these in doesn't really matter. I do like an isolation movement first to jam blood in, to go to failure, to pre-exhaust the muscles, but really it doesn't really matter what fucking way you do it. You can pick and mix whatever order you want here. Okay, so the first one is a rope lat pullover. Now you probably notice these with people doing these with dumbbells and stuff. So it's a lat specific exercise. It doesn't really encompass any of the muscle grips. It's specifically on the lats. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ropes here. Now, this is a multi-gym at home, so I have the luxury of having a lovely pad here that I can put my shoulder blades to. But if you don't have this, that's fine. You can use a bench in the gym, which I normally do. So what we're going to do is, now what I would suggest is having a dual rope system. A dual rope system will allow you to be able to actually pull over greater. But for now, all I have is this, so all you're getting is this. So I'm going to put the shoulder blades to this. I'm looking to allow this to stretch behind my head as much as I can. Before I initiate this movement, I want my lats to feel like it's an elastic band pulling on me. Do I feel it? Shut the fuck up. Do I feel that's the case? Okay, I feel like it's the case, that's good. Okay, so in terms of arm, we want to keep the arm straight during this movement, but what I would suggest is a slight bend. So that's my slight bend. I'm not going to move from that. I'm not going to, as I move through this movement, I'm not going to straighten the arms. I'm not going to bend it more. My arms are stuck here forever now. So imagine an arch. So if the camera's pointing to the side here, when we pull over here, it's going to move on an arch. Okay, so as you can see here, it starts to come up like a snow globe if you look. Okay, so it comes over my head and it goes in a kind of arch, and then we're jamming the elbows behind the back. Okay, we want to try to get the elbows or the humerus as far back jammed into the lower spine as we can. 3 seconds on the negative, full stretch, and then we're squeezing forward again and really jamming those elbows in. And a few other times. What I would suggest is, again, moving that one to complete failure. So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2 would be a variation of a barbell row. So some people don't like to do barbell rows for different reasons, but we can do this in the cable machine, which gives quite nice feel to it. So we're going to take a quite wide bar here, like a lat pull down bar. And all we're going to do is we're going to initiate the movement similar to a stance of a barbell row, right? So play around with this as well. The closer you go in, the moment arm is going to be at a different length. So the closer you go in, for example, it's going to be a lot more difficult at the first 30% of the movement, the initiation. The further out you go, it'll be much harder on the last aspect of the pull. So play around with it. A mid stance is fine. So again, I want to brace the stomach in, come down, almost as if you're going to do an RDL. And we're looking to jam the bar up into our stomach, as if we're trying to jam something right up into your sternum. So we're going to pull again. Elbows again is every time we do this, we're trying to encourage the elbows to jam right back into the spine, lower spine. And again, the movement of all these should look like a robot. It should look like a factory machine. Try to get your chest more over. Let it completely stretch the lats. Pull in and jam. There's exercise number 2. So the final one, oh great fucking start, thanks mate. As soon as, if it's not the dogs, it's the kids. So the last exercise is a bilateral, shut up, go, leave. The last exercise is a bilateral lat pull down. So you've probably seen every fucking coach on the internet doing these things on Instagram, where they're like, if you want to grow a big back, you need to be doing these. I actually think these on their own are quite a lame exercise. Good for the fields, but other than that, in terms of building thickness, I do prefer to be stuck into something like a bench so I can really overload this exercise. But for now, we're just going to discuss it. So this is a great finisher for something bilateral. It's a polisher set. That's what I treat it as, to polish your lats and help any imbalances you may have. So you can take this from high, mid or low, play around with it. So it's very simple. Again, we're letting the lats completely spread, completely stretch. And as I'm pulling, I want to encourage my humerus, this upper arm joint here, the elbow, to actually jam right into the lower spine, okay? Now, when you pull this, don't think of a bicep curl. A lot of people initiate this movement like this first, and I can tell straight away that they're actually curling the bicep, then they're pulling. Again, the arm, all the movement is in the elbows. The elbow joint, the elbow itself, will be, as you pull, is going down at an angle, diagonal. And you can see this from the side view I'm doing. So a full stretch, pull, squeeze in. Good. And that's, now you can also do this midway as well. It can be done practically everywhere. It can be done from a low level, a high level, and it's quite unique because you're going to get variations of this as well. Again, we can do from a low level. Again, it's the same kind of thought process. Full stretch in the lats, and then you're looking to jam your elbow around into your spine. Play around with it. It's going to hit different angles or prioritize different. And again, from this game, you want to expose yourself to as much variation of exercises and alternatives as you can that highlight and benefit your mechanics. Anyway, there's 3 back exercises to build a big, thick gorilla back. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment under below your favorite back exercises. But until the next time, I'm Carl from the Ox Den. Have a good one.